Goodbye falls. 5 wall exercises to never lose your balance after 60. Today, you will learn 5 wall exercises that can literally change your relationship with balance after the age of 60. Simple exercises, no equipment, no gym, but with a direct impact on your safety and independence in daily life. Before we begin, please leave a comment with your name and the city you are watching from. We would love to know. Exercise number 1. Dead bug on the wall. Maybe the name makes you smile, and that is perfectly fine because the position really does look like a little bug lying on its back with its legs in the air. But behind that fun name lies one of the smartest exercises you can do to protect your body from falls. And the reason lies in something few people consider. Most falls after the age of 60 do not happen because the muscles are weak. They happen because the nervous system has lost the ability to coordinate body movement in space. This has a technical name: proprioception. It is the ability your body has to know where each part of it is, even with your eyes closed. The dead bug on the wall trains exactly that. To perform the exercise, lie on your back on the floor with your hips close to the wall. Place your feet flat against the wall with your knees bent at a 90-degree angle. Your arms stay extended along your sides or slightly lifted off the floor. From there, gently press your lower back into the floor, engaging your core, and maintain that stability while breathing calmly. The wall in this exercise works as a safe reference point for your feet, which activates the mechanoreceptors in the ankle and lower back. The sensors responsible for telling your brain where your body is in space. A study published in the Journal of Aging and Physical Activity showed that adults over 60 who performed core activation exercises, combined with proprioceptive stimuli, reduced their risk of falling by up to 35% over 12 weeks. The dead bug on the wall works exactly at that intersection: lower back stability and body awareness at the same time. A very common mistake is arching the lower back too much during the exercise, leaving a gap between your back and the floor. This disengages the core and practically eliminates the benefit of the exercise. You will know you are doing it correctly when you feel a slight engagement in your lower abdominals and your lower back firmly pressed against the floor throughout the entire movement. Another thing, avoid holding your breath. Many people do this without realizing it when trying to hold the position, and it raises blood pressure unnecessarily. For beginners, start by holding the position for 20 to 30 seconds, performing 2 sets. Over time, progress to 45 to 60 seconds for 3 sets. Anyone with an active herniated disc or significant lower back compression should consult a professional before including this exercise, as the pressure against the floor may be uncomfortable depending on the condition. Exercise number 2. Wall march. You know that feeling of uncertainty when climbing stairs, crossing uneven pavement, or simply getting out of bed quickly? A large part of that discomfort comes from a silent combination of hip weakness, ankle instability, and a slow nervous system response. The wall march was designed precisely to address all 3 of those points at once in a safe and controlled way. To perform it, stand facing the wall at about 1 step away. Lightly rest your hands on the wall at shoulder height, just for safety, not to lean on completely. From there, begin marching in place. Lift one knee up to hip height, hold for 2 seconds, lower it, and alternate. The movement should be slow and intentional. The wall is there as a safety net, not as a crutch. The goal is that over time you need it less and less. What makes this exercise particularly valuable is the single leg support phase. That is the moment when you're standing on one leg only. That is exactly when most real-life falls happen. When turning the body, when stepping around an obstacle, when picking something up off the floor. Every time you practice the wall march, you are training your central nervous system to react with greater speed and precision in those critical moments. This type of training has a name. It is called neuromuscular control, and it can be developed at any age, including after 70. The hip flexors are the main players in this exercise, but the ankle stabilizers and core muscles are also heavily recruited. The tibialis anterior, that muscle on the front of the shin that lifts the toes, is also activated during the knee lift. This is relevant because weakness in the tibialis anterior is one of the most common causes of tripping on uneven surfaces. Regular practitioners report a noticeable improvement in walking confidence within just the first few weeks of consistent practice. A mistake I see many people make is lifting the knee in a rushed and uncontrolled way, as if they are in a hurry to finish. The real benefit lies in the slowness of the movement. Every second spent on one leg is a second genuinely training your balance. Also avoid leaning your trunk toward the side of the raised leg, which indicates weakness in the hip abductors and reduces the efficiency of the exercise. Start with 10 lifts per side for 2 sets. Gradually progress to 15 lifts for 3 sets. People with a recent hip replacement or severe knee instability should adapt the movement with professional guidance before progressing to sets with less wall support. Exercise number 3, wall squat. The wall squat is a classic that has stood the test of time because it genuinely works. But what many people do not know is that for those over 60 who want to protect their knees while strengthening their legs, it has advantages that no free squat can replicate in the same way. To perform it, position yourself with your back against the wall and your feet shoulder-width apart, about 20 to 24 inches away from the wall. Slide your back down until your knees form an angle between 60 and 90 degrees, as if you were sitting in an invisible chair. Hold the position and then rise slowly. The wall eliminates the need to lean the trunk forward, which protects the lower back and directs all the tension toward the quadriceps and gluteus maximus. And why does this matter so much for preventing falls? Because sitting down and standing up from a chair, climbing a step, recovering your balance after a stumble, all of these movements depend directly on the strength of the quadriceps and glutes. A study from the University of Melbourne found that weakness in the knee extensors is one of the most reliable predictors of fall risk in older adults. The wall squat trains exactly that muscle group in a safe and controlled environment. It is worth mentioning, the gluteus maximus is the largest muscle in the human body. Keeping it strong after 60 is not just an aesthetic matter, it is a matter of functional survival. A weak glute compromises pelvic stability, overloads the lower back, and reduces the body's ability to respond quickly in situations of imbalance. The most common mistake in this exercise is letting the knees travel too far past the toes, or letting them cave inward during the descent. Both errors increase joint stress and reduce proper muscle activation. Keep your knees aligned with your toes throughout the entire movement. Start by holding the position for 20 to 30 seconds for 2 sets. Progress to 45 to 60 seconds for 3 sets as your strength increases. Those with advanced patellofemoral syndrome or a history of cruciate ligament injury should avoid descending below 60 degrees of knee flexion. Exercise number 4, wall plank. When it comes to balance and fall prevention, the core is the center of everything, literally. It is what connects the upper body to the lower body, what stabilizes the spine with every step, what absorbs impacts, and what allows the limbs to move with precision. And the wall plank is one of the safest and most efficient ways to strengthen that center without overloading the wrists, shoulders, or lower back. To perform it, stand facing the wall and place your forearms against it, with your elbows at shoulder height. Walk your feet back from the wall until your body forms a diagonal line from your heels to your head. Your hips should be neither raised nor dropped. Your core needs to be engaged the entire time, as if you were about to take a light punch to the stomach and needed to brace for it. Keep your breathing flowing normally. What sets the wall plank apart from the traditional floor plank is the angle. In the wall version, the load on the lower back is considerably lower, which makes it ideal for those with any history of lower back pain or who are still building their stability foundation. And do you know why this has everything to do with falls? Because in virtually every situation involving a loss of balance, what saves a person is the ability of the core to react quickly and automatically. A trained core responds before the person even has to think. Regular practitioners of core stabilization exercises are able to maintain single-leg balance for longer and more efficiently, on average, than sedentary people of the same age group. That is the kind of difference you do not notice until the day you trip on a step, and instead of falling, you simply recover. A common mistake is letting the hips sag during the exercise, which puts excessive pressure on the lower back and shifts the focus away from the core. Another error is placing the arms too far from the shoulder line, which unnecessarily overloads the shoulder joint. Always keep your elbows directly below your shoulders. Start with 20 to 30 seconds for 2 sets. Gradually progress to 45 to 60 seconds for 3 sets. People with shoulder impingement syndrome or rotator cuff tendonitis should adjust the arm angle on the wall to a more comfortable position before progressing. Exercise number 5, wall heel raise. We have reached the 5th exercise, and it is going to work a part of the body that most people completely overlook when thinking about balance. the calves. And that is a serious mistake. The calf is called the body's second heart for a reason. It is responsible for pumping blood back to the heart against the force of gravity, but its role goes far beyond circulation. It is the calf that anchors the ankle, that absorbs the impact of every step, and that, in a moment of imbalance, is your body's first line of defense before a fall happens. When you stumble and manage to recover without falling, it was probably the strength of your calves that did that work. To perform the wall heel raise, stand facing the wall with your hands lightly resting on it for safety. Your feet are parallel, hip-width apart. Slowly rise onto the balls of your feet, hold the top position for 2 to 3 seconds, and lower back down even more slowly. The lowering phase, the eccentric phase, is where most of the strengthening happens. Do not waste that part of the movement by dropping your heels quickly. The beauty of this exercise lies in its ability to strengthen the calf muscles through the full range of motion, from the stretch position all the way to maximum contraction. Because the calf is predominantly composed of slow twitch muscle fibers, it responds better to longer sets of 15 to 20 repetitions. This means you can do an excellent job without needing any additional weight. A mistake I see many people make is performing the movement in a rushed and partial way, rising only halfway through the available range. This significantly limits muscle recruitment. Another common error is letting the ankles roll outward or inward during the rise, which indicates weakness in the lateral stabilizers. Try to keep your ankles aligned and neutral throughout the entire movement. For beginners, start with 2 sets of 12 to 15 repetitions. Progress to 3 sets of 15 to 20 repetitions over time. People with acute Achilles tendonitis should avoid the exercise until the inflammatory process has resolved, as the eccentric load may aggravate the condition. Before we continue, do not forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell. Having consistent access to science-based information is what will help you progress with long-term health in the world of exercise. Those were the 5 main exercises, but we have also prepared 2 bonus exercises that perfectly complement your balance routine. Check them out. Bonus exercise number 1, Wall Angel. The Wall Angel is an exercise that works like a problem detector. When you do it for the first time, it honestly reveals where your body is tense, stiff, or out of balance. And these imbalances, often invisible in daily life, are silent contributors to the risk of falling. To perform it, stand with your back against the wall and your feet about 6 inches away from it. Press your lower back, upper back, and head against the wall as best you can. Raise your arms into an L shape, with your elbows bent at 90 degrees and your forearms also resting against the wall. From there, slowly slide your arms upward, as if making a snow angel, trying to maintain as much contact as possible between your arms and the wall. Go up as far as you can without your lower back leaving the wall, then come back down with the same control. Every inch of range gained over the weeks represents real improvement in thoracic mobility and strength in the shoulder stabilizers. What makes this exercise particularly valuable for fall prevention is what it does for posture. With aging, thoracic kyphosis, that excessive curvature of the spine in the upper back region, tends to increase. This pushes the body's center of gravity forward, making a person more prone to forward imbalances, which is exactly the direction of most falls. The Wall Angel works the rotator cuff muscles, the rhomboids, and the thoracic erector spinae, helping to counteract that postural tendency. Good upright posture is not just a matter of appearance, it is a matter of biomechanical safety. A better aligned body reacts faster and more effectively to any threat of imbalance. A very common mistake is forcing the lower back to press completely flat against the wall when that is not yet possible for that body. Tightness in the hip flexors and pectorals can prevent full contact, and that is completely normal at first. Another frequent error is raising the arms quickly without controlling the movement, which removes the work from the scapular stabilizers and turns a quality exercise into nothing more than a superficial stretch. Work within your current range with full attention to movement control, and it will progressively improve. Start with 2 sets of 8 to 10 slow repetitions. Progress to 3 sets of 12 to 15 repetitions. People with a history of impingement syndrome or rotator cuff injury should reduce the range of motion and avoid forcing the arms above shoulder level until greater mobility and strength are available. Bonus exercise number 2, Wall kickback. The wall kickback is an exercise that does quiet, powerful work on two fundamental points for anyone who wants to avoid falls: strengthening the gluteus maximus and training dynamic balance. To perform it, stand facing the wall with your hands resting on it at shoulder height. Keep your trunk upright and your core engaged. From there, extend one leg behind you in a controlled manner, raising your heel to hip height or slightly below without leaning your trunk forward. Hold the leg extended for 2 to 3 seconds at the top and lower with control. The standing leg remains slightly bent throughout the movement. That detail of keeping the standing leg slightly bent is important because it activates the knee and ankle stabilizers of that leg, doubling the balance benefit of the exercise. And do you know why this exercise is so relevant for fall prevention? Because by extending one leg behind you, you force the body to maintain balance on a single leg, which intensely activates the ankle, knee, and hip stabilizers of the supporting leg. It is exactly the same challenge your body faces during walking, when climbing stairs, or when trying to recover from a stumble. Every time you shift your weight to one leg, your nervous system needs to make quick decisions to maintain balance. The more you train this, the more automatic and efficient that response becomes. The gluteus maximus, which is the largest muscle in the human body, is the primary driver of this movement. Keeping that muscle strong after 60 is a direct strategy for fall protection because it stabilizes the pelvis and controls the position of the trunk during movement. A weak glute allows the pelvis to sway from side to side while walking, which significantly increases the risk of imbalances. In addition, because it is the largest muscle in the body, having it well developed contributes to a higher caloric burn at rest, which supports weight management and overall metabolic health. A common mistake is raising the leg excessively, beyond what the hip can allow without compensation, causing the trunk to lean forward. This shifts the work from the glute to the lower back, which is not the goal. Prefer a smaller range of motion with perfect execution and a completely vertical trunk. Start with 2 sets of 10 to 12 repetitions per side. Progress to 3 sets of 15 repetitions over time. People with a hip replacement should consult their orthopedic surgeon before including this movement, as hip extension may be contraindicated depending on the type of implant and the stage of recovery. If you enjoyed this and also want to discover the 10 best habits that force your body to build muscle regardless of your current age, we have a video appearing on screen right now showing each one of them in detail. Go check it out. Thank you for watching all the way to the end, and may God bless you, my friend.